government is, quote, doing some kind of drug thing here. Why aren't our local police knowledgeable about this? Where are they playing into this? Why aren't they at this meeting telling us what's going on? Because I would think that would be a coordinated effort with the local people as well as our federal level.
You're absolutely right, and that's the core reason for this meeting. We aren't getting the answers we're entitled to, and we finance this whole thing, folks. Think about that. We just got $700+ billion of debt transferred from Wall Street to Main Street. I'm not going to pay it, except how they force me to pay it, and that's by inflation. They're going to devalue, they're going to steal our buying power once again with the inflation tax, folks. Now that might sound inflammatory, but Ron Paul's been talking about it for months now, and he's got a lot of people waking up. And when they get their eyes wide open, they don't go back to sleep anytime soon. Democrats, independents, conservative Republicans, you know, people that you wouldn't even begin to imagine would rally when they hear freedom and the Constitution. They're right there standing beside you. People you never thought would ever be in the same room with you politically. And so freedom is popular, and what we need to do is take a few steps, common sense steps. Do these kind of things, folks. Just take it upon yourself. Now, here's something I'm going to do. I've got a four-wheel drive van. It's a '94 Grand Caravan Chrysler product. I'm going to set that van up with a crossband portable repeater, a wideband digital scanner that scans 6,000 channels, and every communications two-way radio at my disposal. And that thing is going to serve as a mobile command center or contact relay center in an emergency. And I'll be mobile with that in 5 minutes because it'll be sitting there waiting for me. Now, I've got the expertise to be able to do that. I've got 30 years in radio and a little bit of money I'm making with the Silver Project. That's my project, okay? You need to each one make a goal like that, something that you can do. Nick is set up pretty well. Ted, you could be set up like that. There's a whole bunch of people in this room, and more that didn't come today, that have already started down that road. And in my mind, that's the most practical thing that we can do, is to set up a communications network. And I don't care where you buy your radios. I can give you some real good internet prices, but there's other places you can get radios. You just need to know what to get, what frequencies to operate on, what kind of a license you need so they can't confiscate your radio lawfully. It's up to you to make sure they don't confiscate it really. But, you know, they'd have to do it unlawfully. Okay, so, and then there's other things. Now, I'd like to steer this in another direction here. And I think we could probably keep this thing going until 6 o'clock, but I don't want to do that. I think another 10 or 15 minutes and I want to go. But how are we going to insulate Lincoln County from this currency meltdown? I've asked that over and over at Republican meetings and other meetings. How are we going to insulate Lincoln County, Montana from this devaluation of the dollar? Ideas, anybody?
We all have our own portfolios, and people don't want to be lectured to or whatever. So my thinking is a little gold, a little silver. You take care of your. Well,
that's the way I've thought for a long time. If you can accumulate some silver or gold, also some food. I mean, let's face it, folks. You can't eat that. Okay? You can take all the gold and silver and dump it in the deepest hole in the ocean and nobody's going to starve to death the next day. So, there may come a time when the precious metal of choice is lead, because at least you can make some bullets out of it and shoot something to eat and defend your family. But it's the things that you can do in the meantime while you have that medium of exchange. Here's the history of it. 1971, Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard. 1980, gold was 24 times its value and silver was 39 times. So let's just say that in 1971, when you saw Richard Nixon do that, you said to yourself, I think I better protect myself a little. I'm going to take 10% of my wealth. I'm a millionaire, so I'll take $100,000 and buy gold. Okay? 10%. Well, the stock market went sideways during the 70s, and the real estate market went in the toilet. And in 1980, you could take $1,000 silver dollars and go buy a home. That's going to happen again. So let's say during the stock market and the housing that you lost the whole $900,000 of your wealth, and all you had left in 1980 was the gold that you bought back in 1971 for 100 grand. You are now worth $2.4 million. And if you'd have bought silver back then, you were now worth $3.9 million. Okay? The crowd always rushes in at the end, and they all get slaughtered. So one of the things I'm doing, put it this way, on the internet, the only way to make a living is to get yourself in front of a major trend and create a market in front of a wave. So the wave is coming along and you're right in front of it. And so you've got demand for a product that retains its value during a currency collapse. That's silver and gold and palladium and platinum. But I say that silver's best because it's the poor man's gold. Number two, it's an industrial precious metal. In 1986, when they started making the silver eagle dollar, lawful money in the U.S., finalized that walking liberty design, and started stamping those at the West Point Mint, New York, there was 2,200,000,000 ounces of silver in circulation, available for collectors, available for coin shops, and so on. Take a wild flying guess how much silver is available today. 300 million ounces, if that. The reason? Every time they make a laptop computer, they use up an ounce of silver. Every time they make a cell phone, they use up some silver. Silver is in short supply right now, and it's going to get shorter big time. So you couple that with the devaluation of the currency, and it's only a matter of time until the boys on Wall Street lose control of the silver market. And when that happens, in the process of all of this, we're trying to wake up as many people as we can, and that's the only excuse morally for me, because I'm not going to be a bit bashful when it comes time for that to take place. I'm going to sell all my silver, and I'm going to get into cash flow real estate, or food, or guns, or ammo, or, I mean, I can name a zillion things that are far more important than precious metal. Go ahead.
If the dollar is getting less and less value as we're sitting here talking, but if we buy silver, how do you go about getting things? How are you going to go trade it?
Well, that's one of the reasons that I recommend silver, because it's very negotiable. Most people can't afford gold coins, and if you pull a $20 gold piece, 1 ounce, out of your pocket, who the heck can make change for that? It's worth $1,000.
Plus, in a currency shortage, so you have a dozen eggs.
Yeah.
That piece of gold you got.
Yeah.
So it's kind of good to have that silver.
So silver is much more negotiable because it's a smaller denomination. Right now, it's worth about 20 bucks or a little bit less. The time will come when silver goes to hundreds of dollars per coin, but it'll still be negotiable. You can get half dollars. You know, there's lots of ways to break that. You can buy junk silver, bags of coins that are 90% silver, pre-64. There's a lot of ways to do that and negotiate the silver. But there will come a time, you're absolutely right, Guy, when that silver, you won't be able to trade it for jack, nothing. Then we get back to the barter system where you're trading food, you're trading things that you can get your hand on that you can really use to stay alive.